I bought this 2023 BMW M240 off of auction, testing my luck, thinking I got the best deal in the world. Little did I know that this thing hit a curb and got airborne. Not only is the body wrecked, but this engine here is knocking. Yeah, and this engine here cost $10,000. It's only got 4,000 miles. And now I'm in a little bit of a pickle. It's things like that you don't see on the auction pictures that kind of get you wrecked financially. Now the question is, what am I gonna do? Is this motor safe? Is this car worth rebuilding? I don't know. With all that being said, I am continuing to fight through this. Now, in the last video I made on the M240, I read all the comments. There's near 500 of them. And here is everything I've kind of put together on all the comments and most commonly said comments. Most commonly commented comments. Now, class is now in session. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find a M240 to hear the noise. Maybe, perhaps, it's fine. Maybe, perhaps, it's a normal noise, and I'm just completely tweaking. Now, we gotta address these comments and make sense of them. If any of these comments, or if none of these comments make any sense, we're gonna jump back up and we're gonna go straight to the solution, which is turn the radio up and we're gonna quit tripping. First of all, chain slack. This right here is one of the most common comments I got. Now, it may have chain slack. It probably does have chain slack, but the chain is in the oil. It's literally inside the oil, like in the sump, and I don't hear any noise from the back where the chain is. It just runs so perfectly smooth. I can hear the chain just shh. Maybe it's the chain, but highly doubting it. Next, add thicker oil. I already kind of am running thicker oil. I'm running a 0W30. Car wants a 0W20. So I don't know if that's, and if I do add a, say, 540 or something like that, okay, the noise is gonna go away, but cool, because the rest of the engine doesn't really like that thickness of the oil because the clearances on this engine are extremely thin and small. Different oil pan. That's a good one. I don't know, maybe it is a different oil pan. Maybe it's from a Gen 1 B58 oil pan, not a Gen 2, which is the new B58. They're the same motor, but there's a couple of updates in them. Don't know. Maybe it's a normal sound. I got a bunch of comments saying that it's a completely normal sound. Now, I would write the people that commented this, but there was just way too much people that commented these things. Car didn't run because airbags blew. Now, that's what I wanted to get into because a lot of people are saying, Tim, you're just tripping out about the motor because the engine's completely fine. When the car got into an accident, the car ran fine, or the car didn't run because the airbags blew, and that's it. The issue to that is somebody before me was inside here and changed this piece right here. It was open when I bought it from the auction, and the IAAI video, I bought this car off IAA, there was a video of the engine running, and that's kind of one of the big reasons I bought the car, because I'm like, all right, engine's good, you know what I'm saying? It sounded fine. Now, I don't know how long people ran it for, how many people came to check out the car, how many people started the car. I, personally, myself, collectively ran the car for 15 seconds without oil, maybe less. I started it, I'm like, something's off. Killed it, put oil in it, started running good. I was like, all right, cool. So that one's in the air. Next one, put it in gear. Let's try it out. We're gonna wait for the car to warm up a little bit, then it'll start knocking. Interesting that it does not knock the first 10-15 seconds when the car starts. I literally heard it under there, so I'm really confused. Car went through its warm-up cycle. Now you can hear the noise. Mic under the car. Nice little interesting tick. Ready? Put it in gear. It's in drive. Same noise. Reverse. Same noise. Well, that cancels out that. A lot of people actually said, hey Tim, just put some miles in the car. See if the noise is gonna get louder. Maybe there's air, he says air in the transmission oil pump. Air, there's just so many people commenting different things, and I have no idea. And I've had actually multiple comments of people saying, hey, this is a completely, hey, yo, chill. There's a completely normal sound for a B58. So I have no idea. We are stuck at this right here. This one right here. Put some miles on it. Now this one here is a addition to this one here. So we're gonna crank that radio up and we're gonna put some miles on it. Sounds good? If it gets worse, motor blows, we replace it. I don't know what's gonna happen. Attention please. I wanna interrupt the video right here and give you guys an update on the WRX. Some of you guys are gonna be happy, some of you guys are gonna be sad. But listen to this. Fortunately for a lot of people and unfortunately for a few, the rebuild on the WRX has zero demand. Really, nobody cares about it, and it's nothing crazy, just like a typical rebuild. So I actually sold it as is, and I earned a exact negative $4 on it. I actually lost $4, but I'm just happy to get it out of my hair because we have a absolutely crazy project coming up ahead. But with that being said, we're gonna load this thing up, and once again, I'm sorry for those that wanted to see the rebuild, and I know a lot of you guys are happy because I'm gonna be rebuilding something fun, let's say like the M240 here, or something that's coming pretty soon. It's gone. Making me set gaps on this thing, huh? In all reality, I think I can get myself a much better project and a much more entertaining project for you guys, since my job is full-time YouTube. So it's really important for me to get something entertaining for you guys and something challenging and rewarding for me. So the Subaru is now loaded up. It's gonna be going off to somebody else. They're gonna rebuild it and sell it. It's a decent price for the car. It's just not really worth it for me because my money is not from selling the car. My money is from rebuilding it on YouTube. Hope you guys understand. And now let's build some epic stuff. Boys, look at this thing. I'm telling you, I scored an absolute deal. Now I'm comparing it here and it looks the exact same, so I'm really, really happy. This is the only damage, which we have obviously a new steering, or it's called tie rod end. I'm looking at the rack, look at this. It's got that A4D TR, A4D TR. Apparently, these are the main numbers on the rack. Also, for you guys that are Beamer boys and may need a new rack, this part here needs to be the same color as your stock one. Mine is gray. They have blue, they have green, they have different colors of this end cap right here. I guess that makes the biggest difference. With that being said, let's go ahead and transfer this bad boy. Let's transfer this thing and put this in. Hopefully it turns on and the steering rack works, everything's good. And put some miles in this bad boy. That's the plan. That's ultimately the plan, because I am so confused. In order for us to put the steering rack in its place, we needed to get the tie rod ends off because there's just no room. They were being a little stubborn, but we used a little angle grinder and did our thing. We're now ready to put in the rack. We're gonna slide that puppy in, and I did forget to mention one thing. Right here, I have a Blackstone Laboratory oil sample kit. So it's a kit, basically. You put oil in this bad boy here, and you send it off to, oh wow, they come with, you got everything here, huh? Anyways, you put oil in this thing, you send it off to Blackstone Laboratories, and they will do a oil analysis and tell you what kind of shavings and what is wrong with your motor. That's if we drive 100, 200, 300 miles in the car and nothing gets louder and the noise stays the same. We're gonna do this, and I'm gonna be very, very curious and excited to see what the results for the oil analysis will be. But for the meantime, what we gotta do is continue fixing the car. Let's put the rack in there. Luckily, installing the steering rack on this car is very easy. The only unfortunate part is that the 4 bolts that hold the steering rack to the subframe get tightened from the top, so it's a little tricky. Once you got those tightened, you gotta put the tie rods on and then just connect the 3 plugs into the motor and the module. So, steering rack is fully done. And it probably was a good idea, or would have been a good idea, to test the steering rack before we fully installed it. Now, we have nothing left to do but to cross our fingers, hook the battery up, and see if it starts up and actually works, like the power steering itself works. Should just be easier than that, because it's in the air. It's not easier, but it could be that we need to program it. So let's try to do that. It's not easier at all. All right, look at this. Electric power steering, EPS coding. The control unit is not encoded. It's a permanent code. Now I hope I can code it. 2023, a little bit sketchy. So when we're in the EPS, look at that. That's gonna be a fun one. I thought I was onto something. I was just following the instructions the computer told me to do. Fault memory in the electromagnetical power steering EPS has been deleted. Don't know what I clicked on, but this may work. It needs coding. It's not gonna work. And I don't have the proper OBD adapter for the coding. I need this. So yeah, can't do it right now. But then it hit me. Why can't I just transfer over the electrical components from the old steering rack that are already programmed to my car? I think everything's in here. I mean, look. You got power. What is this? This is probably the control module right here. Motor, control module. This one is good, so I'm gonna try to replace it. It's gonna take us 2 minutes. What if everything works? Danny doesn't think that this here is the module to the rack. You're saying that this is not gonna work?
No, I don't think it's the module.
See, the thing is, I don't see any more electrical components on the rack. Hence why I think this is the only part that could be like considered the coating of the rack. I don't see anything else. I mean, it doesn't really make sense, but there's no electrical components anywhere else, like I said. So look at this. Look at this, Danny. There are 3 connections, and there are 3 connections here. There's nothing else that can technically be electrical. What's going on over there?
On the steering rack?
Yeah, there's nothing else. Now inside here, it's belt driven. Look at that. That is interesting. What a rack. All right, we're done. Now, you know I hate being wrong, but I love being right. So let's see if we can stuff you and get this steering rack to work. Now when I start the car, this should jolt. Okay, it's stiff right now. Look at that, buddy. Woohoo! That's it. What did I tell you? I'm right, you're wrong. Anyways, all right, let's get this motor mount bolts on and get this thing on the floor and out of the garage because we have a quick sneak peek. Now, I'm not sure if you're gonna be watching this video after the reveal of the new build or before, but there's a new build. 1 second. That's it. That's it. Enough. 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 Yo. That was pretty sick. I'm not gonna. That was pretty filthy. Yo, look at this. It butchered this thing though.
That's why I got the big boy though.
Look what it did to that, yo. Let's see if I can.
Set the gap.
Yeah, we get. Oh. So we start fixing it, boys. We want to get this thing straightened out to put the headlight on and put the fender on and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that because we're gonna be doing some hackery work out here. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna do high quality work. This is aluminum. I need to heat this up because I don't want any of this inside stuff to pop because it's all safe and sound. Now I'm trying to save this hood because I'm broke and I need to save some money because this new build is gonna cost me too much money. I don't know how much of this is gonna come out, but. Now the reason why I'm hitting it and not using something like some pliers to unbend it is because when you hit it, more of the metal moves into its place. Rather than using pliers, you kind of have to use the metal as a, how do I even say it, like a point to lean against. That way, you know, you're kind of deforming the metal. Now when you're hitting it like this, you're not really putting any pressure on top over here. You're just kind of hitting it back into place. I don't know if that makes any sense at all whatsoever, but that's kind of the case. It's cracking right there. It's way too thin. There's no way to salvage this without welding it. It's all good. Woo! Look at that. We got the shape of it, pretty decent. Came out a lot better than I thought, being it's aluminum, thin, hard to work with. Now I don't want to beat this up anymore because I need the fender, headlight, and I don't know if I need the bumper. No, I don't need the bumper. Bumper goes up here. But I have the headlight, I don't have the fender because I just ordered all the parts for this vehicle and I'm trying to find deals. I'm not trying to go over budget on this thing like crazy, so I'm trying to find deals like I did on the rack. Look at that, 290 bucks, we got a working rack instead of paying at least $1,500, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find deals. I got a fender for cheap. I found a headlight. Somebody posted a headlight on eBay just out of nowhere for $799 with all the computers and everything, which is insane because this headlight, the cheapest I found, it was 1,600 bucks, dude. And it's black inside, the exact one I need with all the computers and modules, no broken tabs. Now this thing may cost me pretty cheap being that if I get all these good deals. So we're gonna put this on. Since we're waiting for parts, it's probably gonna take a week or so. And I wanna get this video out, so what we're gonna do is put this headlight on. We're gonna absolutely rip it. We're literally just gonna take this thing for ripperoonies around the neighborhood and hope it doesn't blow up. Initially, this bracket here was bent from the accident. This bracket holds the headlight. So in order for us to put the headlight on, I had to unbend this bracket. You think this headlight's gonna work? Danny, ooh. You're trying to go wrong 2 for 2, huh? I don't think it's gonna work. It's a Beamer, bro. It's a Beamer, bro. Beamers don't work. Now with the headlight fitted, I had to play with the hood just a little bit more and adjust the bracket on the headlight. That way the hood would close. Yo, turn on the headlight. Doesn't work, buddy. I told you. Oh, I didn't connect it. I haven't connected it yet. Maybe that's why it doesn't work. See if I connect it. All right. Shut off the car. Turn it back on. Nah. No good. All right, listen. I just tried to redo that. Let's see if the headlight works. Nope, still nothing. Probably needs to be coated. All right, we're out on our first test spin. You think anything's gonna go wrong?
No, it should be good.
What are you, yawning, falling asleep? Are you not excited, bro? Look at this, we finally got this thing out on the street. I'm 2 for 0 right now. I said the steering rack is gonna work, so the headlight's gonna work. I hear some funny noise, but it's from my left wheel. It's kind of nicking the strut. It's funny because like when I when I stop and I hear the noise, that ticking noise, the knocking, whatever it is, sounds like an absolute average BMW. Doesn't sound like anything else. Do you hear anything else? Sounds
normal.
Sounds literally normal. It's funny because I remember I had a lot of BMWs. I'd always pull up like to a stop sign or something, and I'm always like, am I sure something's wrong? And the car just ran and ran and ran. But I know this thing got some sport mode, so we're gonna test that out. All right, the valves open up. This thing got traction control?
Somewhere around here.
It's right here. Watch us blow it up on the first run.
Too much false.
Jeez, look at this, bro. All right, traction, no. No, it works, dude. Pulls good. It's like 382 horsepower or something, so I mean, see if we can skid it somewhere. Do you think we can skid it somewhere? Transmission feels fine. Seems like it's shifting up. Whoa, homie, chill out. Shifting up and down pretty darn smooth. I mean, it's got power. It's definitely got power. 380 horsepower, I feel it. It's all like right here, you know? But, I mean, it's doing good. I don't see any kind of, I don't feel, that is the strut, but. Oh, I heard that. You heard that?
What is that?
I did downshift first.
Kind of grinded.
It didn't grind, it whined. The transmission whined. Maybe we need more oil. You heard that, yeah? Oh, it's smelling. Oh, yo, it's smoking too.
Damn, it smells.
Smells, huh?
So bad.
Oh, dude, that downpipe is leaking. Not leaking, but it's smoking. Look at it.
I think there's oil here, huh?
Yeah, I think it's just the excess of oil everywhere. Because when I was pouring, it kind of overfilled on oil. But if you look down there,
Just close it.
I didn't overfill. You're right. I spilled it. Look down there. Look deep down. Yeah, the downpipe's smoking. Yeah, so that, I mean, other than that, transmission's a little whiner. I don't know. Feels like a runner so far. Where can we do a Bernie?
Right here.
Right here? Flip it into a Bernie? I can do a little Bernie for you. You want it, right?
No, of course I want it.
All right, bet. Yeah, it's my first time, bro. Yeah, she sends. She definitely sends. You gotta know what you're doing, but she sends.
It's squealing like a hog, dude. It's so annoying.
Oh gosh, yeah. These sometimes tires squeal louder than the engine or anything, and it's super annoying. Like super annoying. Like if you want to try drift discreet, you know, you got to get them tires that don't make noise. But yeah, all right.
What are those called? Ling longs?
They call it ling longs. I'm gonna go back to the house. I'm gonna go ahead and see if the check engine light went away. Everything went away, guys. Like it's weird. Like I don't know what's going on. It might be totally fine. Like I said, oil sample will probably tell in about 1,000 miles, maybe less, 500 miles. But that's a lot of miles I gotta put on this thing. So we'll see. Whew. Our baby here is a runner. May need a little bit of more transmission fluid. I felt some kind of funny whining, but we'll address that. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Now, I ordered parts, but they're gonna take forever to come, at least a couple of weeks. So in the meantime, what I wanna do is address a couple of question marks. And one of the question marks is this quarter panel. Are we gonna fix it or are we gonna replace it? So here I have a beautiful Vevor Spot GD90E Amazon special. Actually, honestly, I had one back in Washington. It's not a bad tool. I'm gonna go ahead and play with this. So you guys can see the bottom of this got really pulled in. And like I said, I'm not gonna make it perfect right now. I just wanna see how the metal is gonna act. Is it gonna be nice to me? You know, can we talk to it? Can we get it pulled out to where I want it to be? Or is it just gonna be stubborn? Over here, you can see we have a hole ripped, super thinned out. So this edge is gonna be welded, shaped to make sure the bumper fit. But all this is pushed in. So boys, let's get this done. A dent puller like this is a must-have in any body shop. At the very least, one like this, which is less than $300. I connected the ground to the bare metal and started working with the panel, seeing if it wanted to work with me. Now it's very important to get the shape of the panel proper, because if not, it will be very hard to move the metal around. I started pulling the little dents out just to get a feel of the thickness of the metal, and then moved on to the shape. Wow. This Vevor bad boy here is actually working very good. A lot better than I expected. Now, I got a hustler stick, not a hassler, a hustler stick right here. I wanna give this a light pull. We have a little bit of a kink inside here. I wanna see if I can get this like somehow with an angle, give it a light little pull right here, tapping out the kink. See if we can get this back out a little bit. Let's give it a shot. If the shape of the quarter panel isn't correct, then you won't be able to get all the dents and high spots out of the quarter panel. That's because the metal needs to go somewhere. It's either going to be a dent or a high spot. You can see I'm slowly working with it, carefully feeling where the metal wants to and needs to go. With every pull, I get less and less tension in the spots that need repaired. Well, this is the sign I was looking for. This quarter panel is extremely soft. Look at that, boom. Not even putting a lot of pressure on. Look at this, look at that. The whole thing just moves. Unfortunately, I can't do too much work because I don't have a new door. So that's, you know, I can't really align the quarter panel to anything. Now the door hinges are bent as well. So once we get a new door, we're gonna have to play with those, play with the fender, play with the hood, play with a lot of things. So I'm gonna do a little pull on this and then we're gonna get to coating the headlight and see if we can get that thing situated. Yeah, these are pulled in pretty good. You can see all around. Chances are I'm gonna need a frame machine. But for the meantime, I'm just gonna get these out a little bit because I literally can't even close the door anymore since I pulled the quarter panel. So get those adjusted a little bit and we'll go from there. noise. I got a little carried away. Just about fixed as much as I possibly could with the quarter panel. Obviously, we need the rear bumper to know what's going on over here. We need a new door to know what the heck is going on over here. But take a look at this close up. How did this door get clapped and that quarter panel just got a light scratch? Interesting, but I'm not complaining. Look at this gap. This gap used to be touching and overlapping this door, but now it's pretty decent. Now for the hood, we need the fender to repair it, and these mosquitoes are pissing me off. But anyways, it's looking great. I'm very happy with it. This is definitely going to be a repair, not a replace. Now, the last thing I want to conquer in this episode, and the last thing I probably can do, is see if I can code that headlight with my Autel. Now, if I can't code that headlight, I need to get an Ethernet adapter, just like I was showing you guys earlier with the steering rack. Luckily, we were able to situate that, so let's give it a shot. Frontal light electronics left. Coding. Control unit is not encoded. Permanent. We go to the repair order. Ta-da. It says, obviously, the headlight's not going to work. Note, check whether other faults relating to encoding are present and work through them. Okay, obviously, that's not the solution. The solution is that the headlight needs to be coded. Now, if we go to the coding of the headlight, I don't want to exit that. See, if we go to the coding of the headlight, it says obviously make sure this is all happening. Right there, we run into the exact same thing that we needed for the steering rack. So I need this piece right here. See that? Which means we can't do anything. That is all she wrote. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please smash that like button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at BYBTim to stay tuned if this motor blows up. And also stay tuned for the next build that has a potentially blown up motor. 1,300 wheel horsepower. What? Peace. Love you guys.